mitt bland alla grund nu. Och så här är väl en fart. Fan, gick vi på grund igen. Äsch! Nej, fan!
Det kommer skvätta en del. Okej.
Jag tror vi ska skicka ut något meddelande på VF:en.
Vi gör det direkt.
Jag vet inte hur man gör, så jag tar av det. Vi gick just riktigt jävla mycket på grund. What?
The ground we went on wasn't on our charts. We used an app called Skippo, and then I changed to Navionics, and it wasn't still on the charts, but 7 people had warned that it was really shallow there on Navionics.
Put your own grounds in the app.
Yeah, you can put your own measurements in the app, which is really good for other sailors.
Which we haven't done. We should do that.
We did that.
We
were the 8th person that put it was really shallow at that point.
Yeah. Use the right charts, people.
Navionics is just more but CMAP was even more detailed and was showing it was too shallow, so
yeah,
maybe CMAP was the best in Denmark. I don't know. Being the world's slowest sailor and not very rich one, I have my own preferences for choosing a sailboat. This is my 3rd boat, and I wrecked 2 other boats before this one and learned a lot. This is what I came up with. It's not a perfect boat. I could have chosen something differently. Maybe. But it's very nice. It's a very nice boat. Number 1, plastic hull. I can't afford carbon fiber or aluminum. And if I had a steel boat, it would probably rust a lot. And aluminum can also corrode in contact with salt water and screws of other sort of metals and stuff like that. A wooden boat is just anxiety. A lot of boat work. I like to sail. I like to sail a lot, and there are so many things to fix on a boat anyways, so I don't need to fix the hull and deck and everything. I chose a boat with both plastic hull and top and no wood in the top, so if I drill a hole in the top of the boat, it's just a hole through a plastic thing. Some boats have wooden core, like balsa core, in the top of the boat. Every time they drill a hole in the boat, they need to make like laminate around the hole and make sure no moisture gets in between the plastic into the wood and starts the rotting process. These kinds of woods, mahogany and teak, are not very prone to be rotting, but yeah, they shouldn't rot, but I don't know, I wouldn't want it in the top of the boat. 2, no sandwich boat. Some older boats have 2 hulls that are like put together with some insulation in between. I don't really like that, because what can happen in an old boat is they delaminate. They have like start to move from each other, and sometimes there can be water coming in between the hulls, making it heavier because of that. Or I don't mind that much to be heavy in the sea, because you just get more stable, but water in between the hulls in freezing temperatures. Not a good combo, and to fix that it's also loads of work, and I'm a lazy sailor. I don't like eternal work. I like to work on my arts, music and movies instead. 3. Long keel. As you saw, I need a long keel. I know I need a long keel because the length of the keel on this boat is like half the boat almost. So when I hit a reef, like a sandbank, a very big area of the boat takes the hit and distributes the forces to the whole boat. If I had a fin-keeled boat, I would probably have to take it out of the water immediately and check everything, and maybe have a total refit of the keel project ahead of me, and I don't want that. I want a safe boat that just works. Also, these old plastic boats are made very, very thick, and they are very, very strong, and I'm very happy I had this plastic sturdy boat when I got hit by the cruise ship. I don't know if a new modern boat would have survived that collision. I also like to sail in the Swedish archipelago and take my boat to some close to rocks and close to islands. In Sweden we also usually moor with an anchor out in the aft and have the bow to the land, and these old boats have very pointy bows, and in combination with a long keel and strong hulls, you can hit the rocks and it doesn't really matter. The long keel is also making it possible to have the boat steer itself very well, so I don't really need to steer or have an autopilot or wind vane steering all the time, because the long keel in combination with the masthead and all this makes this boat be able to steer itself very well. 4. A protected propeller. My propeller is in between the keel and the rudder, which makes steering in tight spaces very simple. It really turns on a dime without any speed in a marina or something like this, so it's very nice, and don't need an expensive and complicated bow thruster with batteries and all that. So it's very nice to have the propeller both protected from rocks and stuff like this. Seagrass, ropes can of course get tangled, but it's not as easily done, I think, if the propeller is really protected like on my boat. 5. Beauty. I think my boat is really beautiful, and I think this is like the culmination of the old design language from the wooden era and the yachts, and my dream boats are like Mercer 44 or Columbia 50, and boats like this, they are very beautiful and are like a bigger version of this boat. I think beauty is important. I don't like refrigerator boats that are just squares. Of course they're fast in light winds, but these old boats are quite fast in strong winds and pretty stable. 6. Aluminum mast and rigging. This boat has 4 stays, wires on each side of the mast. It's got 1 forestay and a baby stay in front and 2 back stays. So on each side of the mast you can have multiple wires fastening the mast, which makes me a little bit more comfortable taking this in heavy weather. I lost my mast on my first boat at sea, and I don't want to do that again. I have considered also adding even more stays with Dyneema and stuff, and Dyneema is good because you don't need to x-ray it. You see if Dyneema, the ropes are tearing apart, then that could, I don't think they need to be either or. Maybe you can have some extra stays made from Dyneema, I don't know. 7. Equipment. You never get the investment of the equipment on the boat back if you're selling the boat. I knew this, but I didn't take that into account that much when I bought this boat. If I had bought a boat that was already fitted with like a wind vane, maybe an autopilot that's really good VHF, plotter, life raft, everything, you don't get this back if you sell the boat. So if you want to go long distances, buy a boat that is equipped with all the things that you want, then you don't have to invest in stuff that you never will get the money back from. 8. A not too complex boat. Every through hull in the boat is a potential leaking risk, so the less complicated systems and less complicated plumbing and all this stuff, the less likely it is that you have a failure of one of those systems. So I like to have an overview as much as I can, and I don't have the time, and all the people that are sailing a lot know this. Some people are fixing their boat as a hobby and go sail every once in a while, but the people that are sailing their boats a lot know that they don't have time to fix everything that's breaking. So having a simple boat with less stuff that can go wrong is good in my opinion. 9. Easy maintenance. My old engine was located in the bilge of this boat, and to just replace the starter motor you would have to take it off the shaft, take it off the motor mounts, which were 8 motor mounts I think, or something like this, pull it up just to take off the starter and fix it. And a lot of times things are like built in a way that you need to be a contortionist to fix things. My new electric motor requires almost no maintenance, which is really nice. I do need to fix some gearing to it so it reaches its full potential, but having a motor that is easy maintained and that you can fix without being a contortionist is pretty nice. Number 10. A boat that doesn't need a motor. I think every sailor should practice maybe with the motor idling, but sail with just a mainsail in tight spaces sometimes, just to be able to do that. If you have an engine failure or motor problem, you should be able to sail your boat with just a sail, I think. And in most times you can. It just requires some wind and some practice. This boat is a little bit harder to do that probably than a fin-keeled boat, but it goes in almost all directions with just a mainsail, just really slow. Sometimes it drifts backwards too, but yeah, it's really good to practice. My last boat was Albin Vega, and I sailed that boat without an engine for 5 years, and people are really impressed when you sail into a marina and you just dock without an engine or anything. If you're doing it nice, they are very not impressed if you fail and bump into the look like you don't have any clue. But when you are doing it nice and you learn the things and you learn to adjust the speed of the boat with how much tension you have on the sail and everything, it's very satisfying as well. Of course, you can always call someone to get you towed into a marina, but that's expensive. In my opinion, the sails are a more reliable propulsion method than the motor or engine. They just require some wind, and if there is no wind, you can almost paddle a boat of this size into a marina or anything. Thank you so much for watching my strange videos about my sailing adventures, and I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on what makes a boat reliable and good for a person like me that doesn't necessarily compete in sailing and just want a reliable cruising vessel that can take me anywhere I want to go, and in the future maybe hopefully anytime too. There is a free subscribe button you can use if you want to see more of my videos. It would be really nice to have some more followers. And you can also give me one of these. And thank you so much, my patrons and people that have donated to make my videos and productions possible. I'm very happy for that. And if you want to buy me a coffee or buy Atri some cat food, there are links in the description too. Okay, have a nice day.
And I want a mini horse. If you wanna give me a mini horse, buy me a mini horse first. No, I'm serious. Just do it.